Section 1.6 of your textbook deals with subtraction of real numbers. Now, when negative numbers are involved, subtraction is an operation that can sometimes be a bit confusing. Let me illustrate that with the following word problem. The elevation of Mount McKinley in Alaska, which is the highest point in the United States, is 20,320 feet above sea level. The elevation of Death Valley in California, which is the lowest point in the United States, is 282 feet below sea level. How much higher is Mount McKinley than Death Valley? Now, a common incorrect answer to this problem is arrived at by simply subtracting the numbers 20,320 minus 282. And it's reasonable to understand that this problem involves subtraction because we're comparing the heights of these two places, Mount McKinley and Death Valley. However, if we subtract these numbers this way, 20,320 minus 282, we obtain the answer 20,038 feet. This is an unreasonable answer because, as we can see from the picture, Mount McKinley is 20,320 feet simply from sea level, simply from zero. And then to reach Death Valley, we have to actually go an additional 282 feet further from sea level. So an answer of 20,038 does not make sense because it's too small. We actually need to take our two absolute values of these elevations, 20,320 and 282, and add them together to obtain the correct answer to the problem, which is 20,602 feet. So the confusion is caused by the fact that when we have a negative number, negative 282, that's being subtracted, we actually end up needing to add that number in order to obtain the correct answer. How can we deal with this and develop some rules for what to do when subtracting positive and negative numbers? Well, there's a simple rule that we can use to subtract any positive and negative numbers. We simply add the opposite of the number being subtracted. Remember that opposites are two numbers that have the same absolute value but different signs. For example, numbers like negative 5 and positive 5 are opposites. Numbers like 18 and negative 18 are opposites. Once we've rewritten our subtraction problem as an addition problem involving the opposite, then we can apply the rules for addition of real numbers using absolute values. Let's do some examples. Number 1, negative 15 minus negative 8. Instead of subtracting negative 8, we will rewrite the problem involving addition so that we add negative 15 plus the opposite of negative 8, which is just 8. Now that we have our problem rewritten in an addition form, we can go back to our rules for addition of positive and negative numbers, noticing that our two numbers have different signs, negative 15 and 8. We will subtract their absolute values, 15 minus 8, and we will take the sign from the negative 15 because it has the larger absolute value. Thus, our answer is negative 7. Let's look at example number 2. Negative 42 minus 37. First, we'll rewrite this as an addition problem. Negative 42 plus the opposite of 37, which is negative 37. Now we are adding two numbers that have the same sign. Both numbers are negative. So we will add their absolute values, 42 plus 37, and then keep that negative sign to obtain an answer of negative 79. These processes work for integers as well as decimals and fractions. So for example, in problem 3, we can rewrite the subtraction problem 4.9 minus 10.6 as 4.9 plus the opposite of 10.6. And then noting that these two numbers we're adding have different signs, we will subtract their absolute values. 10.6 minus 4.9. Then we take the sign of our answer from the number having the larger absolute value, which in this case was 10.6. So we have negative 5.7 as the answer to our subtraction problem. One final example involving fractions. 4/5 minus negative 2/3 can be rewritten as the addition problem 4/5 plus 2/3. Now to add these fractions, we just need a common denominator. So we'll rewrite these two fractions using the denominator of 15. So we have 12/15 plus 10/15 for a total of 22/15. What about problems that involve addition and subtraction of several numbers at once? The best way to do a problem like this is to first rewrite the problem so that it contains only addition. At that point, we can then use the commutative and associative laws to reorder and regroup the numbers we're adding in order to finish the problem. So let's look at this example. As we go through each step, anytime we see subtraction, we're going to rewrite that step as adding the opposite. So we start with negative 24. Then instead of minus 17, we will write plus negative 17. Instead of minus negative 38, we can write plus 38. Plus negative 9 is already written in an addition form, so we will leave that as it's written. Minus 56 can be rewritten as plus negative 56. And finally, plus 10 is already an addition problem, so we'll leave it as plus 10. Once we've rewritten our problem so that it contains only addition, we can now use the commutative and associative properties. Let's group all of the negative numbers together and add them separately from the positive numbers. Since all the negative numbers have the same sign, we can simply add their absolute values. So we'll add 24 plus 17 plus 9 plus 56. To obtain a total of 106. And again, since those numbers were negative, we have negative 106 for that portion of the problem. Adding our two positive numbers, 38 and 10, gives us a total of 48. Now, having grouped and added those two portions of the problem, we can finish our answer by adding negative 106 plus 48. Since those numbers have different signs, we need to subtract their absolute values. 106 minus 48 to obtain the answer of negative 58. Notice that the answer is negative 58 because we take our negative sign from the number having the larger absolute value, which was the negative 106. The same ideas can be used when combining like terms. If we were adding and subtracting several like terms, we can first rewrite each problem using only addition and then combine the like terms from there. Remember that like terms are terms that contain the same variable factors, and we will add those terms by adding their coefficients. So for example, in problem 1, 5x minus 3x minus x, we can rewrite the problem as 5x plus negative 3x plus negative 1x. Remember that the coefficient when we have negative x would simply be negative 1. Now adding those coefficients, we have 5 plus negative 3 plus negative 1. That gives us a total of 1x. Let's look at problem number 2. 6x minus negative 9y minus 8x minus 4y. So let's rewrite it using addition. 6x plus 9y plus negative 8x plus negative 4y. Now in this case, unlike in problem 1, we have some terms that are unlike. We have some terms containing the variable x, and then we have other terms containing the variable y. And we need to add those terms separately. So first adding the terms containing the variable x, we have 6x plus negative 8x. A total of negative 2x. For the y's, we have 9y plus negative 4y, which is a total of 5y. So our answer is negative 2x plus 5y. Our third example contains some variable terms and some constant terms. First, let's rewrite the problem using addition. Negative 7n plus negative 10 plus negative 1n plus 2. We have to add our variable terms, negative 7n and negative 1n, separately from our constant terms, negative 10 and 2. Adding the variable terms first, negative 7n plus negative 1n is negative 8n. Then adding our constant terms, we have a negative 10 plus 2, which is negative 8. So we can write as our answer negative 8n plus negative 8. Or it's customary sometimes to write that answer as a subtraction problem, changing from adding negative 8 to subtracting 8. So we have a final answer of negative 8n minus 8. Let's finish by returning to a similar word problem to the one we started with. And we can talk about how we can use these methods of subtraction by adding the opposite to solve a word problem like this one, or like the first one we looked at the beginning of the lesson. The highest temperature ever recorded on Earth was 136 degrees Fahrenheit in the Libyan desert of Africa. The lowest temperature ever recorded on Earth was negative 127 degrees Fahrenheit in Antarctica. What's the difference between these temperatures? So once again, we see that that word difference means that we are going to need to do subtraction. But clearly, we can't simply subtract 136 minus 127. That would give us an answer that's much too small. Instead, we need to subtract 136 minus negative 127. And since subtraction is the same as adding the opposite, we can rewrite an equivalent addition problem, which is 136 plus 127. If you remember our first example, we see that this method of subtracting using addition of the opposite actually leads to the same kind of result that we got when we were subtracting the elevations of Mount McKinley and Death Valley. We actually ended up adding the absolute values of those two numbers, and we see that that's exactly what's happening here as well. We're adding the absolute value of 136 to the absolute value of negative 127. Once we've done that addition, we can see that the difference between these temperatures was 263 degrees Fahrenheit.